And if you can both talk about the relationship between Emma and Gaston, because it's a relation of love, but there are so many differences, so there is a pull apart and a continuous pull apart and pull together.
I think it is es amor, ¿no?
Es amor.
I want to be romantic about sí, es amor puro. Yeah, it is like you know, they go through difficult things, and who knows if they will be together, but I don't know, you know, I think the history will absolve them. La historia los absolverá.
Ah, sí, yo también creo. No, y yo creo que indiscutiblemente ellos se aman. Son dos personas muy apasionadas. Ambos quieren tener una familia. Pasan por esta catástrofe, esta dificultad de devolver a este niño, pero siguen ahí juntos a su manera, pero están ahí juntos, acompañándose.
In between 2010 and 2015, 53 adoptions were failed in Chile. So that means that 53 cases like this existed in 5 years. So you could say that there was almost 10 a year. This is not another galaxy. This is a reality. I don't know, I'm sure there are people from different countries around the world in here, but the reality of failed adoptions is very huge. And it's a trauma and a drama that we wanted to address in the way that the movie shows it. And I think I think to me, they both really love each other, and they have the necessity to, you know, understand what they did and how to express themselves in a world where there's just so many judgment, like everyone, or even every one of us is just judging what's around. And they feel judged, not only by others, but by themselves. So it creates a huge ghost. I do believe that, particularly Mariana's character, it's a force of nature. That's how I see it. I think it's based really on nature. And she's a sister, she's a friend, a daughter, a mother, a lover, a wife, and a dancer. She's the sun, and everyone circulates around the sun, like the sun it does. Mm-hmm. And if you get too close, you might get burned.
I think there was a question here. Vuole provare a dire, io la ripeto. Let me repeat the question. It says creativity is normally associated to the feminine, you know, and to the woman, and she's such a creative character, and she is a great, you know, and so most of the time the narratives are about frustrated creativity, female creativity, but she is fulfilled because she's an actual great artist. Why isn't that enough for her?
Feminidad está asociada a los creativos. Yeah. Entonces, ¿por qué para ella ser además una bailarina y una artista es tan importante para construir personajes?
Pero que los personajes antes son, o sea, los femeninos están frustrados porque no pueden expresarse. Y en cambio tu personaje sí puede expresarse. Es interesante. Sí, está bueno.
Okay, I'll say something. It's a complicated question, I think. It's just like...
Broken telephone.
Yeah. I think what is interesting is that when she dances, she's also telling a story about herself. and the way she expressed with music is a big part of her character.
Y quizás la película también la podríamos ver como una gran coreografía, como una gran orquesta. Quizás ella es la maestra de esta orquesta. Agregar eso. Y el baile, claro, es parte importantísima de su vida, es su pasión, es parte de cómo ella se libera, se relaciona con el mundo, insisto, cómo seduce.
Gaston, can you, Gael, can you talk a little bit about the difference, the conversation? They're also having a conversation about art. They're talking about a family, but they also have a conversation about art. Can you tell a little bit about Gaston's difficulty to understand her art as opposed to the one he's been practicing and he loves?
Yeah. Well, I think, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to speak from Gaston's point of view because I don't know what he would think, but from my perspective, there is a situation that happens, okay, we begin the film with a huge trauma, no, a huge shock, no, of this, and they're trying to understand it, and maybe this adds to the last question in a sense, and Emma is trying to make ends meet, trying to understand what happened through a very artistic process, even though we might not understand that formally as art, you know, but it is an artistic, like what she says about the choreography, it is something, she's trying out things, she's exploring, she's incorporating new things, she's using the way she can express herself to build to forgive, and to forgive herself, and to let other people forgive each other. And so she's building this, she's putting it together into an interesting way, and I think that's what goes again, or maybe Gaston cannot understand fully, because for Gaston, the artistic expression is only organizing a choreography, you know, and putting up a play, and doesn't understand the concept of going and dancing on the street, doesn't understand the concept of expressing yourself in that way, you know, like he only understands it on a ritual level, and maybe the pathway that Emma is taking is something that is beyond him, and he gets frustrated, and obviously, as he is very hurt, and he's a very, you know, he cannot change things, he's hurting where it hurts most, through him being the director, hurting her, hurting everybody, out of just, you know, talking about the art concept, and him knowing what art is and them not knowing, you know, that's it is a thing. Yeah, and the generational thing as well.
It's like a different generation. I think also it's very linked to the city. Valparaiso is such an important city for us in Chile, and so important for the film. It's like another character. And in Valparaiso, things happen on the streets, you know. So when Gaston wants to keep it inside of a theater and be kind of a sophisticated, like that contemporary dance choreographer, he realized that the generation that he's working with wants to be in the streets, and they want to dance what really motivates them. So that's like a crash in between those generations, because they don't use and feel that the dance it's only to be seen for others. They feel that it's for themselves. So it's a different approach, and that's why it's so essential.
Una domanda per il regista. Diciamo il suo personaggio femminile da una parte è la donna più libera che si possa immaginare, però poi persegue un principio di maternità, quindi c'è come una contraddizione, perché da una parte poi fa quello che ogni donna vuole, mantenere una famiglia in un modo qualsiasi, anche una famiglia estremamente allargata. Volevo capire se lei ha pensato così questo personaggio. Grazie.
I think that I've heard, and we also have discussed that this is like a modern type of family, and I don't have the same idea. I do think that families have been different from the origins of time. Any kind of possibilities have already existed. And I think we don't want to reivindicate anything. We're just witness of what is going on of our times. And we want to leave a testimony. We want to leave a trace on the subject from the place that we can have and that we might have. You know, in Valparaiso, there's a lot of graffiti all over the city. And there's some of them that create very sort of sophisticated type of painting, and some of them that just tag with sprays and this deep design. And what they're doing, if you talk to them, is that they are leaving a trace. They are like leaving a testimony, a living testimony in the city, which is what she does with the fire. It's an extension of that. And connecting with the family, I think, you know, families are traces of people's life. And the way that those potential configurations are old as humanity. I don't really think that we are like facing a revolution on how families are like made. I think it's just how we are as humans. We just we get together and we grow, we change, and I think maybe this movie is a testimony of that.